Desmond Tutu, you're here at the peace protest.
Oh, yeah, and glad to be. This is the place to be because this is where the people are. My assumption is that this is a democracy and that the government does not belong to the president or to the Congress or to the Supreme Court. Ultimately, the buck stops with we, the people. And when I look out and I see all of these people and their thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, I'm reassured. I know that democracy is alive and well in this country. And that's the hope, not only of this country, but for peace in the world. We in America stand for many things. And we can be proud of our technological might, but we don't have to express it in a way that intimidates the world. We can use it to feed, to nourish, to uplift, to live up to the true meaning of our great democracy. And that's what I think our people are telling our government today. Turn around, let's do this another way. Peace is possible and even necessary. So drop the sword and pick up the hammer and the saw, and let's build a better world.
Mr. Davis, you're a veteran of the peace and justice movement in this country. Are you surprised by the size and depth of this movement, this global movement that's expressed here today?
I'm not at all surprised. I fully expected that this would happen. As you say, I've been involved in demonstrations going, all the way back, certainly to the Vietnam time. And I know that then, we Americans waited, and there was trauma, and there was pain, and there was bloodshed, and it took us a long time to let the government know where we stood and about the war. But now, thank God, look at this. No blood has been spilled, no troops have been landed, no shots have been fired, but the people have come out and solidly said and indicated to the whole world, no, war is not the way.
So what gives you hope after all of these years of your activism? And do you feel that the Hollywood community has spoken out enough?
Well, I'm not prepared to deal with the Hollywood community. I live in New Rochelle, so I can tell you more close to what the Bronx is doing than Hollywood. But no, I feel that this outpouring, as I said before, gives us a chance to state who we are and what it is we want before something awful happens. And I think the powers that be should listen, and I'm sure that they will. Our presence here makes a great difference, but why be surprised? This is what the people are supposed to do. My fear is that we will become a people so sedated by the trivia that we see in movies and television that we will not pay attention, and that we will lose the freedoms that made this country special. We can't do that. And the people are saying it in a loud voice. This is our country in our hands. We are voting today for peace.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis.
Bishop Tutu is right next to us. We're hoping he will be walking over right now. But when he heard that there would be no protest march, that it could only be a rally, he said it reminded him of apartheid South Africa, Ozzie Davis.
Yeah. Well, it seems that the people have said, you won't let us march, but we march anyhow. If the side streets are full of people still coming to the march, still coming to the rally. And as long as we get a chance to express ourselves, and surely the effort of the city and the police to keep us from marching is as eloquent as the march would be.
Well, look who's here. We have one very cold Bishop Desmond Tutu. And we would like to ask you if you could sit right over here. If you could sit down right over here.
No, I'm
and
fine.
We could, okay.
Can I be here?
Yes.
And stand next to beautiful people? No, I mean, this is an exhilarating moment.
It is.
It is a moment that fills you with new hope and faith in humankind. That people so many miles away from Iraq can come out in this kind of weather, and they are pouring pouring. I mean, they're pouring into New York to say, give peace a chance. Fantastic.
Amen.
Wonderful.
I'm wondering, Nelson, your thoughts on Nelson Mandela's comments that the way Blair and Bush are dealing with the UN would not happen if the Secretary General was not a black man, and that that President Bush is willing to plunge the world into a Holocaust.
Well, I would say, I mean, that when you are looking for why they disregard the United Nations, you look for all sorts of possible explanations, and that may be a possible explanation. I just think that it is still possible for the world to pull back from the edge of the precipice. It is possible for peace to happen.
Bishop Tutu, when you say that the UN is the only legitimate authority that can determine whether or not to go to war, what would...
Absolutely. I mean, everyone is agreed. I mean, in most of these cities, people are coming out and saying the one war that they might, in fact, support is one that was sanctioned by the United Nations. And the United Nations is saying, well, before we get there, give the inspectors more time. No to war.
Amen.
Bishop Desmond Tutu, as well as Ozzie Davis. I want to thank you very much for being with us.
Try not to freeze.